Tonight, find out who won the student government elections.
Plus, students relieve some stress on campus. Find out how. Stay tuned. Trojan Vision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy Trojan Vision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy Trojan Vision Nightly News for January 26, 2012. I'm Judson Garner.
And I'm Bailey Majors. Thank you for joining us this evening. Most of the state of Alabama has been under the threat of severe weather throughout the day. Luckily, the city of Troy has been spared the wrath of Mother Nature. However, many school systems throughout Alabama canceled school early today due to the threat of severe weather. Troy University canceled classes on the Dothan campus around lunchtime but kept the Troy campus open. However, the university advises students to be careful for the rest of the day and will alert students through SOS messaging if any severe warnings are necessary.
Representatives in Troy's Student Government Association Senate represent a wide variety of students, including those who live in on-campus dorms, students involved in Greek organizations, and even independents. Yesterday, students had a chance to choose who will fill some of these positions. Wednesday afternoon, students had a chance to vote for their peers to represent them in the SGA Senate.
Today, the SGA has their SGA vacancy elections. On occasion, we have vacancies in the SGA Senate because students will graduate. They will move from one residence hall to the other residence hall or off campus. So Senate seats become available, and so we are trying to fill up all our Senate seats.
When filling positions, the SGA looks for students who possess certain qualities.
We're looking for student leaders here on campus. We're looking for people that represent the student body respectfully and people that have good ideals and are willing to do the work that comes with being an SGA senator.
And much like most political elections, the SGA has students who commonly vote because they are tied to organizations. The SGA is really hoping for more independent voters.
You mostly get your people that are representative in organizations, Greek or non-Greek, or people that come out and vote. We're trying to get more students involved in the voting process, independent students to come out and vote for the respective Senate positions.
The SGA will be adding additional seats to the Senate next year. The new senators will represent students who are enrolled in a graduate program and international students, both who have a strong presence on campus but currently have no representation in the SGA.
And now let's take a look at who was chosen to fill those seats in yesterday's vacancy election. For Alumni Hall, Dakota Punzel, Sorority Hill, Courtney Rushing, and Hamill Hall, Kelby Porter. In the two at-large positions, Jamie Sanders and Shelby Green, and filling the seats for the College of Health and Human Services will be Sharika Lee and Madeline Hamilton. The newly elected senators will take their seats at next week's SGA meeting.
Next weekend, Troy University will hold its annual leadership conference celebrating African American history. The conference brings both community members and Troy students together on campus to learn lessons on leadership, including lessons from some big-name keynote speakers. This year's speakers include the winner of the TV show The Apprentice, Raynell Pinkett, and pastor of Atlanta's famed Ebenezer Baptist Church, Reverend Raphael Warnock. The conference has been a popular event every year, and it is growing popularity for Troy students.
Students who come not only from this campus, but from the Dothan and from the Montgomery campus will come down for this leadership conference, and it has been the kind of event that people come back to year after year after year, and our students come back to. If they go as a freshman, they wind up going their freshman, their sophomore, their junior, and their senior year.
Registration is now open for the conference. If you are interested, you can contact Patterson at 670-3204. Well, Bailey, the spring semester is getting back into full swing, and students may be starting to feel some stress the first full week back.
That's right, Judson. So one student organization wanted to help out. Courtney Addison has the details.
Wednesday, the University Activities Council brought 2 masseuses to Troy University to give free massages to all Troy students. UAC member Sarah Akers tells us why the massage chairs made their way back to Troy.
Everybody enjoys it, and it's just kind of a relaxing time. People can stop by in between their classes and take a break and just get a free massage.
A couple of students took time after their massages to share their experience.
I had a weird pain in my shoulder, and he touched something in my ribs and it popped it back into place and it feels much better.
It was amazing. I'm so happy I did this.
Along with being a stress reliever, another hit with the students was the personality of each masseuse. Students say the personality made their 10-minute massage a little more enjoyable.
They were really personable. Their personality was really good. They keep the conversation going, which I think is very important.
Very friendly, you know, it was conversational. I wasn't just sitting there getting a massage, and it was really awkwardly quiet. So he was talking to me and stuff, so that was pretty cool.
And for those students who may think a massage really doesn't make a difference in performance or in classes, masseuse Dan Hendricks says otherwise.
There's a very good scientific study done where students and other test subjects were asked to add accountable figures for speed and accuracy after a 10-minute massage or a 10-minute break. The 10-minute massage group did better. 2 weeks later, they came back and did the same test, and the 10-minute massage group did better than they did on the baseline and better than the 10-minute break group did 2 weeks after a 10-minute massage, just like we're giving today.
Courtney Addison, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The next UAC event will be Dollar Movie Night, Wednesday, February 1st.
And now taking a look at news from around the state, much of the southern half of Alabama has spent part of the day under a tornado watch. The National Weather Service issued a tornado warning for Autauga and Chilton counties at midday when radar indicated rotating winds in northern Autauga County. But a Weather Service spokesman said no damage was reported.
Authorities say a grocery store employee was killed and another injured by two robbers in Bessemer. Captain Mike Roper with Bessemer Police said the shooting happened early this morning at Torm's grocery store just as the manager arrived to open the business for the day. Authorities say the two gunmen have not been caught.
The man charged with killing an Anniston police officer has pleaded not guilty by reason of mental defect. WBRC reports that Joshua Eugene Russell did not appear at the Calhoun County Courthouse during his hearing Wednesday. His attorney entered the plea on Russell's behalf. Russell is being held at the Etowah County Jail on a charge with capital murder.
Still to come on Trojan Vision Nightly News, the women's basketball team was in action last night. Tiffany Lesser will be in next with sports to let us know the outcome.
But first, the Republican candidates are getting ready for the Florida primary. Find out what issues are heating things up. We'll have that story next.
Race in Florida heading into the final debate before Tuesday's primary. I'm Danielle Nottingham in Jacksonville. I'll have the story coming up.
At the heart of what we do in the College of Business is care for the students. We feel like the students are our most important assets.
I have never been anywhere where I've known so many students on first-name basis.
What we try to do at Troy University is provide an experience to students that not only provide the curriculum that allows them to be successful in the business world, but we also try to expand their horizons to reach greater opportunities that maybe they didn't think they were capable of before.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Trojan Vision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Judson at the Global News Desk. Judson?
Thanks, Bailey. The Republican candidates for president are gearing up for their final debate before the Florida primary. Immigration is a hot issue, as is the economy. Daniel Nottingham is in Jacksonville, Florida.
Newt Gingrich is reaching out to voters in Florida with a new round of attacks on Mitt Romney.
I think every American should be angry. How can somebody run a campaign this dishonest and think he's going to have any credibility running for president?
Gingrich tried to connect Romney to Florida's home foreclosure crisis, pointing out that Romney owned stock in Goldman Sachs and Freddie Mac, companies that have left Floridians financially crippled.
I think Romney owes every American an explanation.
Gingrich is working hard to separate himself from the Republican establishment. He's trying to cast himself as a citizen with big ideas who will shake things up if he's elected president. it's working with crowds at his rallies.
He has conviction. He has fire in the belly, and that's what we need.
While Gingrich has pulled even with Romney in Florida, polls also show his momentum may be slowing. And he faced strong criticism for a radio ad calling Romney the most anti-immigration candidate.
Él es el candidato más antimigrante.
Gingrich pulled the ad from the air.
How you doing?
Today, Romney kept his attacks focused on President Obama. He visited a 100-year-old printing business forced to close its doors last month.
Business feels like they're the enemy of this administration, and they have been.
Rick Santorum and Ron Paul will also be at tonight's Florida debate. Both of them are focusing their campaign efforts in states yet to come. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Jacksonville, Florida.
President Obama's 5-state campaign-style tour stops in Nevada and Colorado today. He's turning his attention to energy, a theme from his State of the Union address. Randall Pinkston has a story from Washington.
An energized President Obama showed off a natural gas refueling station in Las Vegas.
Hello, Nevada!
Funding from his stimulus package helped build this environmentally friendly UPS center. The president is visiting this key battleground state to underscore the need for more clean energy jobs. He also wants to start drilling again for oil in the U.S. now that more oversight is in place after the BP disaster.
Today I'm announcing that my administration will soon open up around 38 million acres in the Gulf of Mexico for additional exploration and development, which could result in a lot more production of domestic energy.
But the president's visit is being overshadowed after a tense encounter with the Republican governor of Arizona. Governor Jan Brewer was photographed Wednesday pointing her finger at the president when he arrived in Phoenix. The president told Brewer her book misrepresented a conversation they had in the Oval Office.
He wanted to talk about the book, and I thought that he was pretty thin-skinned.
Brewer called the president patronizing in her book, and this meeting apparently didn't go much better. The governor says she was in the middle of a sentence when the president walked away. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, the White House.
Thousands of Penn Staters are packing an indoor arena on campus this afternoon for a tribute to Coach Joe Paterno. Manuel Gallegos has a look at the celebration from State College, Pennsylvania.
Sue Paterno received a warm welcome as she arrived at the memorial for her husband. Students, alumni, and fans packed the arena to celebrate Joe Paterno's life.
I know he's up there saying, what are they doing? They could be doing some good today. What are they all sitting there standing there? Don't they have better things to do?
Some, like student Steven Springer, came in rolled-up pants, white socks, and black shoes, the way Joe Pa always looked on the field.
This is the daily Penn State attire for most people, but today it's a very special day and honoring a great man in Joe Paterno.
Paterno's children will address the crowd of more than 12,000. And a friend from each decade of Paterno's coaching career remembered him. Kenny Jackson was an All-American at Penn State.
We got to talk about our teacher, Coach Paterno. We are going to show you how much we love you.
Paterno's death at 85 came less than 3 months after his stunning dismissal as head coach. The child sex abuse charges against his retired assistant have tarnished his legacy. But this week is not about scandal. Paterno is being remembered for his generosity and his commitment to education and to his family. Wednesday, thousands lined the streets to wave solemnly as his funeral procession passed by. And now the community says a final goodbye. Manuel Gallegos, CBS News, State College, Pennsylvania.
And that'll wrap things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, you can tune in to Trojan Vision Global News right after the nightly news. Now back to you, Bailey.
Thank you, Judson. And now Tiffany Lester joins us for a look at sports. So, Tiffany, I know that there's been a lot of Trojan sports actions going on over the past few days.
That's true. We've had some women's basketball and some tennis, and we should be seeing some men's basketball later on. Now I'll get into that right now. It was the top versus the bottom as the Trojan women's basketball team traveled to Murfreesboro to take on the league-leading Blue Raiders last night, and the outcome reflected their respective positions in the standings. Troy fell to Middle Tennessee last night, 82-52. Senior D'Angela Sword led Troy in scoring with 10 total points and was the only Trojan to score in double figures in the game. However, 5 other Trojans each scored 6 points in the game. The victory maintains Middle Tennessee's undefeated conference streak. The loss extends Troy's losing streak to 10. Troy has yet to pick up a conference win this season. Troy has a short time to recover before traveling to Mobile, Alabama to take on South Alabama on Sunday. Tip-off is set for 3 p.m. The Troy men's basketball team will look to build on Saturday's historic performance when they travel to take on Middle Tennessee tonight at the Murphy Center. The East Division rivals met back on January 5th in Sartain Hall, with Middle Tennessee coming away with a 63-53 victory. With a 7-11 overall record, Troy is coming off of a 91-63 rout of ULM at home on Saturday. In that game, the Trojans tied an NCAA record with 11 consecutive three-point baskets without a miss. The final margin was also the most lopsided win for the Trojans in a conference game since joining the Sun Belt. Middle Tennessee comes into tonight's game riding an 11-game winning streak, the third longest streak in the nation. But when the two sides met earlier this month, the Trojans played possibly their best defensive game of the year in holding the Sun Belt's top offense to just 63 points. Those 63 points are still the fewest scored by the Blue Raiders in Sun Belt action this season. The Trojans and the Blue Raiders are set to tip off at 7 tonight. The Troy women's tennis team closed out a stretch of a 3 straight game against ranked teams with a loss to number 1 Florida yesterday afternoon. The Trojans fell to the defending national champion Gators 7-0 at the Ring Tennis Complex. Troy opened the match with 3 losses in doubles points, 2 of them to ranked competition. The loss to Florida comes after Troy dropped its first 2 matches to number 7 Georgia and number 46 Kansas State. The Trojans host the Tigers at the Lunsford Tennis Complex in Troy on Saturday at 1 p.m. The match will mark the home opener for the Trojans. 3 women from the Troy track and field team were sent to the Birmingham Invitational and multi-events at the Birmingham Crossplex. Juniors Jasmine Patton and Veronica Bryant, and also sophomore Adria Hill, all competed in the indoor pentathlon yesterday and today. The pentathlon included the 60-meter hurdles, high jump, shot put, and the long jump. Patton moved to 9th rank for the pentathlon with a total of 2,823 points in her first ever multi. She placed 9th in the 60-meter hurdles and 8th in the shot put. Bryant placed 4th in the shot put and 5th in the high jump with a distance of 1.61 meters. Hill placed 13th in the 60-meter dash and finished 18th in the 800-meter race. The Trojans will be in action again on February 4th as they head to Middle Tennessee State Invitational in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So Bailey Judson, there was a lot going on earlier this week, yesterday, and we're hoping to see the Trojan men's basketball team get a win and just show some Troy spirit.
Absolutely, and best of luck to them.
Best of luck.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tiffany. Still to come on Trojan Vision Nightly News, find out which Troy University faculty member just published a book. We'll have more on that after the break.
But first, it's been raining all day. What can we expect for the rest of the week? Courtney?
Well, Bailey, I think things are going to start looking up for us, and I'll tell you just how good they're going to get when we come back.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone. But you're not alone. At iava.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. iava.org. We've got your back.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Trojan Vision Nightly News.
And now Courtney Field joins us for a look at weather.
Well, Courtney, it was a pretty crazy day weather-wise. You know, across the whole state of Alabama, we've had tornado watches pretty much all day, and it was raining here fairly hard at one point. Should we have to worry about any dangerous weather tonight?
I think most of the danger has passed through our area. We may continue to see a little bit of rain, but as far as danger, I think we're okay, but I'll get into that a little bit later. Right now, let's take a look at our campus snapshot, looking over the campus of Troy University. As you can see, it's cloudy out there as the night begins to fall, and not very much rain out there right now. However, we have seen a lot earlier today, and we'll probably continue to see some as the night goes on. Take a look at our current conditions. As I said earlier, we have cloudy skies, the temperature of 64 degrees, dew points at 63 with humidity pretty high, sitting at 94%. Barometers at 29.78 and falling, with winds coming out of the south-southeast at 11 miles per hour, gusting up sometimes to about 18 miles per hour. For our stats, we saw a high of 68 degrees with a low of 51. Rain was at 0.89 and probably will increase as the night goes on. Sun rises at 6:40 this morning and is expected to set at 5:12 this afternoon. Looking at temperatures around the state, we'll see that we're generally seeing temperatures within the 60-degree range. We see that both Montgomery and Mobile are coming in at 68 degrees. Birmingham and Phoenix City coming in at 65, Troy 66, Huntsville 61, and Dothan's coming in at 64 degrees. Taking a look at temperatures throughout the southeastern portion of the entire United States, we see that we're generally seeing some mild temperatures still. Alabama seeing temperatures in the mid-60s, go a little further. We see temperatures getting down to the lower 70s, as well as out towards Texas, lower 70s, and some 60s still throughout the southern region over there. Spreading out to the United States, we'll see that the entire warmer region is in the southern portion of the United States, seeing temperatures within the 50s and the 60s in that area. However, up towards the north, temperatures are a little bit cooler, seeing them in the 30s and the 40s. Current conditions throughout the United States, we see a few cold fronts coming through. A high pressure system sitting out towards the Four Corner states as well as some of the plain states as well, seeing a cold front in that area too. Out towards the east, where all the moisture is and where a lot of the systems are, where we're seeing some of the wet weather. Taking a closer look at our weather, cold front is pushing through. That's pushed this system in our area. It's going to continue to push out through the continuous of the night. However, right now it's still in our area a little bit towards the southeastern portion of Alabama. Take a little closer look. We'll see some of the counties that are actually being affected. Pike County is a little bit clear. It's pretty clear. Right? We're not clear, but as far as the severe weather, we haven't cleared of that. However, as the night continues, we will continue to see some rain and things of that nature. If you plan on traveling, definitely be careful. We don't have severe weather, but still be careful. The roads will be wet and dangerous for you to be traveling on. Temperatures for tonight, generally throughout the United States, as those cold fronts move through, it's going to be pretty chilly. However, the cold front hasn't moved through our area completely just yet, so it will still be in the mid to upper 60s. For the forecast for the next few days, as you can see, the rain will move out. For our Friday will be clear, Saturday clear, Sunday will be clear, and looks like Monday will be clear as well. Taking a look at tonight's forecast, cloudy skies, early thunderstorms, and the rain will continue. Like I said, the severe part, it has moved on. However, we will continue to see a little bit of rain in our area. Winds coming from the west-southwest at 12 miles per hour with a low of 51 degrees. Taking a look at tomorrow, weather clears, the sun comes back out, but the temperatures will drop a little bit. Winds coming from the northwest at 11 miles per hour with a high of 64 degrees. Campus outlook, we'll see it's pretty cool tomorrow, 52 in the morning, warming up to about 56 degrees. Then around lunchtime it'll be 62 and only going up to 63 degrees by 3 o'clock. Let's take a look at your 4-day forecast. As you can see, for the rest of the weekend, we will see sunny skies and pretty mild temperatures, ranging into the mid to upper 60s throughout the weekend into the beginning of next week. As for the nights, we get pretty chilly, however, down towards the upper 30s and even down to the low 33 degrees, almost the freezing mark as you get to Sunday night. So Judson and Bailey, as you can see, if you make it through tonight, it gets a little sunnier after. You're going to be a lot more cooler and a lot sunnier, and it should be looking a whole lot better for us for this weekend. Yeah, and I'll take, normal January conditions over a tornado watch and, horrible rain. So, yeah, I'll take it. Thanks a lot, Courtney. You're welcome. Thank you.